I am Coach Horn, and this is
Coach Groves.
Man, I wanted to touch his nose. He wouldn't let me do it. Coach Groves. Whoop. Yes, here we are. Welcome to the next section, chapter of, man, this tea's flat out good.
Hey, look, just be real with y'all. We've already covered the Old Kingdom. We talked about pharaohs and pyramids and things like that and polytheism and blah, 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 and everything goes on and on and on. Today, Middle Kingdom, New Kingdom, and we're going to go kind of fast, so buckle up.
Check it out. Look at that camel.
Look at that camel.
I want to get on that camel.
Yep.
That is cool. All right, so we're going to do a quick little review of some of the stuff we learned earlier.
Quick review.
Check it out. Here is the Upper and Lower Egypt, the Nile River.
All right, so where's Upper Egypt?
Is Upper Egypt up here?
No.
It's not.
No.
It would be down here.
Yeah.
Now, how do you remember that? The key way I remember is it's upstream because the river is flowing. See this arrow going that way? So it's up the stream, which is down here. That's still confusing.
And remember, when people are in Lower Egypt in the north, they're looking up at Upper Egypt.
Cool. Good stuff, y'all. All right, Valley of the Kings is something we'll learn about a little bit today, or actually just kind of
That's
mention.
Middle Kingdom.
And our new kingdoms today, or middle kingdoms today, or some other places. Recognize these things as they come out. Yes, yes, beautiful stuff. Yes. All right, here we go. Check out that picture of the Nile Delta.
The Nile River Valley and the Delta in the north.
Yes, yes, yes. Check that out. What in the world am I looking at, Coach? What is that?
Oh, man.
Some of y'all, really haven't thought about this, but we said that this was 4,000 kilometers long. Look how long that really is. The Mississippi River starts about right here in the United States. It comes down. This thing is twice as long as the Mississippi.
The Nile, you could go from one side of the United States all the way you could go from the east to the west, coast to coast and back. And you still haven't gone as far as the Nile covers.
Yes, it's an amazing trip you could take on that thing. I want to do it. You want to do it with me?
No.
Go get us in some cataracts?
No.
Could be good. All right, here's some more modern things. Check it out. This is where Ethiopia would be today. Another satellite picture of the Nile River.
Yep, very cool.
Beautiful Nile River.
Look, you can see all that red land, all that desert.
Look at all that red land.
And there's not a lot of life out there. Now, look where it's green. And remember, they call that the black land.
Black land because it's fertile. Yeah. That's right. That's right. Yeah, check it out. So I just want to stick this in here. So there's some creatures in the Nile River. I wonder, this creature.
Go ahead.
No, I won't go there.
Go ahead.
This is a hippo. That's right. And they're in the Nile River. That's right. They're in the Nile River. Why are you laughing?
Because everybody right now is thinking you were going to say that I look like a hippo.
I would never do that. You look like a chipmunk. You know nothing like a hippo. Now, not at all.
Oh.
Yes. Here we go. Look at that. The Liquid Highway. That's cool. I like that. The Liquid Highway.
Yeah.
We should write a book about the Nile River called The Liquid Highway. Have a little rap
People
song.
are traveling on it, and they're sending goods and services up and down that stream.
Yep, that's right. They also call it a breadbasket. Check it out. Because Egypt was called the breadbasket because they grew wheat and flax. They exported food to other parts of the world. A lot of food and wealth are coming out of here. That looks kind of good. This is lunchtime right now.
Oh, yeah.
You want that croissant right there? Look at that. Beautiful stuff. And to kind of to end the Old Kingdom little review we're doing here, it is united under this guy named
Medes.
Medes. Yes.
Medes.
Many Medes. Yes. He'll unite Egypt. This will bring the Old Kingdom to an end. Check out some of the hieroglyphics of that time. And now that takes us to
the Middle Kingdom, folks. So the way I remember the Middle Kingdom, Coach, is that after several dynasties, and real quick review, dynasties, the kingdom passes from pharaoh to son, and sometimes even a daughter, and we'll see that today.
Yes.
But after those first few dynasties, the pharaohs began to lose power. And the nobles, those landowners in Egypt that were very powerful, they start to take over from the pharaoh. And that's what started the Middle Kingdom.
Beautiful. All right. So there's the Old Kingdom, and its dates was when the pyramids were built to bury the pharaohs. Yep. This is when the stuff you are most familiar with Egypt. That's the old kingdom. Check out this picture. There's so much going on here. We may pause this in class and do some stuff with that. But yeah, so the old kingdom's coming to an end. Let's start the new chapter or the new phase, the new time period, which is called the Middle Kingdom, which we'll start right here. Check it out. So, Middle Kingdom. Check out your years. 1975 BCE, that's before Jesus, to 1640 BCE. It's still before Jesus. The second peak period. This is when things, that means things are going good. The other two being the old and the new. So we're in that middle part. It's easy to remember because it's called the Middle Kingdom. Now, in the Middle Kingdom and the new, they're both going to go through a time of what we call a golden age. Yeah. A lot of wealth and art and music and prosperity is going to happen in the Middle Kingdom and the new. All right, so the rise and fall, two different golden ages are happening.
So when he's talking about golden age, he's talking about the arts and peace and prosperity and all of these good things happening.
Yes, and I don't think it is completely peaceful. They're still expanding. They're still taking folks over.
Oh, yeah.
There's still conflict. But most people are going to have stuff to eat. They're going to have a job. They're going to be making stuff. Everybody's not just a farmer anymore. Check out these cool artifacts right here. Yes, this is actually, maybe a 3,000-year-old hippo right here. Check that bad boy out that they made long ago. Look at this one right here, this sphinx right here. It's supposed to be a lion and then the head of a man? Yes, and I have no idea what that is. Any idea what that might be? Maybe a jewelry or something? We'll let you guess what it is. Yeah, what might that be back during the Middle Kingdom? That piece of art. It's really quite cool. Can't zoom in on it. It looks like some beads or probably maybe made of ivory or some type of rock. I don't know. Middle Kingdom is a first golden age. Here we go. All right. So what dynasties ruled Egypt during the middle period? So what dynasties are they? So there's many dynasties. Check out what it says right here. The 11th, the 12th, and the 13th dynasties.
And the 14th.
And the 14th. Our historians sometimes include the 14th as well. All right. That's where we get into there. So that's the family of rulers right there that are going to rule.
So that means that the first 10 dynasties is the Old Kingdom, starting back with Menes.
Yeah, very good. All right, so the peak of the Middle Period, all right, you have the Middle Kingdom reached its peak under the 12th dynasty. So that means the Golden Age, that's when they're the richest, and everybody has the most stuff. They're living in excess. They have more than they really need during the 12th dynasty. Things are going really well. All right, the pharaoh of the time built a powerful standing army that protected the country from outside invaders and maintained the control of the government. This makes me think of a phrase that there's peace through strength. You have a large army that's powerful and it protected the country. And nobody wanted to come in and mess with these bad boys because they had peace through strength. You take that next little piece there.
It says the greatest point of economic prosperity came during the reign of Pharaoh Amenhotep the third, which lasted for 45 years. And one of the ways that they increased their wealth, guys, is by going and taking over other places. And they would force these other places to pay something. And there's a word that we use it's not taxes. They have to pay Egypt because Egypt's forcing them to. What do they call that, Coach?
The word that they use, or we can use now, is tribute.
Tribute.
It's called tribute. I pay you so you won't
destroy me.
Destroy me. Punish
That's exactly
me.
Right.
It is a form of a tax, but we call it tribute because it's forced. You got to do it.
Well, see, and here's what I think the key word here that Coach Horn mentioned just a minute ago was powerful. Egypt wasn't some little bitty weak place. This kingdom was powerful and was taking over other places. There's this area called Nubia that's really close to Egypt. They go take that over. They go to the south. They take over their neighbors. So Egypt was very powerful at that time.
In the Middle Kingdom. All right, now there's a lot more to the Middle Kingdom than what we're showing
Absolutely.
You right here.
Yes.
We're giving you the high points. So now let's see what happens to this golden age. So it was during the 13th dynasty that the pharaoh's control of Egypt began to weaken. Eventually, a group of kings in northern Egypt, called the 14th dynasty, split from southern Egypt. So you're basically having, I like to look at it a little bit like civil war. There's conflict within the empire or within the unity of all of Egypt. and began to split apart. And this is going to cause wealth to go away. More war. People are more worried about what are they going to do when they get up in the morning because they don't have as much stuff because they began to weaken. All right.
And when you start to weaken, that's going to leave you vulnerable to somebody else to come in and take what you've got.
That's what makes us strong. We're the United States. We don't ever want to be the divided states. We do that, we will be weaker.
All right. So here's a couple of important things that was developed, and you guys know what all of these are. Hieroglyphics, the ancient Egyptian writing that's in symbols. Papyrus, the paper, the plant that they turned into paper so they could write and do their hieroglyphics on that. We know about the pyramids. The pyramids are tombs from the pharaohs, and it was in the Middle Kingdom they stopped putting their pharaohs in the pyramids and they started putting them somewhere else. We'll get to that in a minute, won't we?
Then we'll mention it there. That's these other types.
And then they had a calendar, which we know that the Mesopotamians had that too. And keep this in mind: this society, this civilization is happening concurrently with Mesopotamia. It's not like Mesopotamia was first and Egypt was second. This is happening around the same exact time. And then they developed the clock to keep time.
All right, check this out. This is some stuff that, the Middle Kingdom had that golden age that shows you some of the stuff they were able to make. Check this out. This boat and more than 20 other models of boats, gardens, and workshops were found in a small chamber in this tomb of Meketre. Meketre?
It works for me.
It works for you. Come on now.
Meketer.
Meketre. Yeah. All right. A Theban official. So this shows, this is like a toy or something they just used to decorate a room. And there's many of others. This shows you an artifact they actually had back in that day. Pretty cool. All right. So welcome now. Since the Middle Kingdom has fallen, let's go to the New Kingdom. And here's what's crazy about Egypt when you learn about it. There's a lot of the old, middle, and new that's so similar. When you're in the New Kingdom, the pyramids are still there. The Sphinx is still there. So it looks like the old kingdom. And the culture there in Egypt, it's because it's isolated naturally by the deserts and the delta and the cataracts. They're gonna develop a culture that's unique. If you see an Egyptian, you know it's Egyptian. If you see an American, he may not be an American. Egyptians are what they are. So this all blends together. So check this out.
And I would say this too. This is how I remember New Kingdom. The one thing that stands out to me about it is this. This is where they reached the height of their power. This is when they were the greatest.
This is truly empire.
Yeah.
Empire absolutely. That the rest of the world is going to start knowing about. People are literally going to be, they're going to be in Europe or they're going to be in Mesopotamia. They're like, hey, we want to go on vacation. They want to actually go and see this place because it is not just a place that's, this place, Egypt over there. No, everybody's hearing about Egypt in the world at this time. We're about 1,000 years before Jesus. You see how this is going to come to an end too, the New Kingdom. It ends with invasions of other mighty empires that we're going to learn about.
Absolutely.
The Romans, oh my goodness gracious, they're so advanced. The Greeks, the Persians. Yep. All right, here we go. So
the New Kingdom is a period of time during the history of ancient Egypt. It lasted from around 1520 BC to 1075 BC, so it's about 450 years. The New Kingdom was the golden age of the civilization. That's what we just said. It's the peak. It's the highest part of their civilization when they were their strongest. It was a time of wealth, prosperity, and power. But golden age, guys, is the key right there.
The golden age. You should question yourself sometimes. Where do you think you are in the civilization, the place you're living in? Here in America, are we in a golden age now? Are we about to end a golden age, or has the golden age not happened? We can make some great arguments for both. And know what a golden age. Have a golden age in your family. Set it up. It'll be good by getting yourself ready. Here we go. All right. So the fall of the New Kingdom. It was during the reign of Ramses III. The powerful Egyptian empire began to weaken. Ramses III had to fight many battles, including an invasion by this is crazy, the Sea Peoples. We don't know who they are. We call them the Sea Peoples because they just showed up out of the oceans. All right, they did. And tribesmen from Libya. These wars combined with severe drought and famine, the climate was not working for them, caused unrest throughout Egypt. In the years after Ramses III died, internal corruption and infighting in the central government became worse. The last pharaoh of the new kingdom was Ramses the 11th. So, sum that up for me, Coach.
Well, when a pharaoh has all this power, and when they start to lose their grip on that power, we're talking about a pharaoh. At one time, they were seen as gods. Well, when they start to lose their power, and there's internal struggles, and then there's people outside looking in going, man, those guys are getting weak. We're going to go take what they got.
That's right.
You start to lose your grip on your civilization, on your kingdom, and now it's not going to last.
Yeah. So check it out. Look here. Look, war, unrest, people dying, internal corruption.
I think you said internal corruption. That's big.
Yeah,
and that's like in the Middle Kingdom, the nobles rising up against the pharaoh. That's an example of internal corruption.
You should do like your own little. Be intrigued by this. Go and look at all like small and large civilizations. Why they all go away. I guarantee you it has something to do with internal corruption, infighting, and this reflects all the way down to your individual relationships. Just you and your friends, you and your wife, your husband, up to your schools, your churches, communities. When this stuff starts happening, somebody better recognize that, make it go away. All right. We don't have to worry about sea peoples, I hope.
No,
I guess it could happen. Maybe they come from space. I don't know. It could happen. Good. All right. So that's about the new kingdom, the middle kingdom. Here's some stuff. We're going to go quick on this. I want y'all to see. It could just some good things here. Coach and I'll hit. Just check it out. What do we have here? Yeah.
Rosetta Stone.
Yep. Without this, we would not know about Egypt.
That's right. We wouldn't be able to decipher their written language. That's exactly right.
Check it out. Look at these hieroglyphics. Man, I would love to have seen them when they were actually made the first time, the vibrant colors that they would use. But look at these stories. A man fishing and plowing and growing his crops. Is that what that just said?
Pretty much.
There we go. The hierarchy. This is all about the pharaoh at the top again. Yep. All the way down to the laborers. Make sure you understand that. Egyptian housing. Look how they live. Look. This is a modern picture. Some people are still living that same way that they lived back in the day. Well, actually, this is peasants. This is middle class. We're going to have a picture
of the Valley of the Kings.
I think we get there. Maybe. We'll see. If not, we can look it up or something. All right. So,
look at those sculptures, Coach.
I
bet those must have been some important people.
Right there. Yes. What do y'all think they are? Good stuff. The scribes, the professional writers, they were honored. You see, as a scribe, there's his manuscript.
Very honored. Yes,
they were seen as
like writing to us isn't that big of a deal. These people, like, if they liked you, then if they respected you as a person, then you'd be looked at favorably in society.
Yeah.
But if the scribes attacked you, if the scribes said that you were no good, people would look down on you all over the society.
Very powerful people. That's the news media of the day.
That's right.
I wonder if they had fake news back then. Do you think the scribes lied sometimes?
I think they probably did.
It may have happened. Yep. So here's some here.
Wow.
We're gonna have some fun with that one. King Tut. Is it Tut?
No.
I know. It's King Tut or Tutankhamun. There's Ramses and his powerful person, and then Thutmose. We actually know
Thutmose the third.
Thutmose the third. Look, big time math. Check it out.
Let's go back to the slide. Here's something that's interesting to me. King Tut died when he was like 13. He wasn't the pharaoh very long. Didn't really accomplish anything great. But today, he's the most famous pharaoh ever. Mm-hmm. Why is that?
All about what he left behind. We were able to discover. It was preserved so well. It's colorful. It's vibrant.
All that gold, all those riches, all that art. That's right.
If we don't show it to you, go and look it up. It's good stuff. Check out their math and numbers. Look at this. All right, let's see if we think we can figure this out. What is this number? I don't know. So 1 1.
Whew. I have no clue, Coach.
That's 10s.
Oh, I see it. Oh, my gosh.
More ones. All right, y'all figure it out. We'll have competition, see who can do it the best. That's tough. There's King Tut stuff.
There's King Tut. So people don't know how he died. Some people think that he may have gotten sick, and then one day they found on his body an indentation on the back of his skull. They thought he might have been murdered.
It could have happened. Yep.
Boy, I guess if the Pharaoh was murdered, that's some internal uneasiness, huh?
Sure is. There's some of the gods, Isis, Horus. There's just so much to look at, guys. You have to look at pictures of Egypt. You learn so much. Look at some of the stuff they used in mummification. Look at this cross. We should look up, figure out what the cross of life is. What is the cross of life? It looks Christian, but there's no Jesus yet. I wonder what it is. There's our hieroglyphics. The big find of the century, according to this right here. Look at this. Queen Hatshepsut.
Queen.
That's right. Or Pharaoh Hatshepsut.
Yeah.
Great story. You ladies go check her out.
She dressed up like a dude.
That's right. She sure did.
Because people didn't like that she was a woman.
Gave herself a beard.
Yeah.
So she looked masculine. Check out her teeth. She's got some pretty good teeth for a 3,000-year-old lady.
Ugh.
Yes. All right. Oh, yeah. Check that one out. Look at that mummy. Looks a little bit juicy still. Is that still juicy? That is great. Well, you can see the hairs. The hair.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's amazing. More mummies. Not your mummy, but that's good stuff. Is that her?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's her. That's Hatshepsut. Pretty lady. Look at the wigs. They adorn themselves. The mirrors, the perfume. Look at these. These are amazing. Other mummies. We're actually still finding mummies today.
Yep.
Just last week, they found a whole new tomb. We had
still finding tombs.
Yep.
Gold, riches, mummies, all kinds of stuff.
This last one they found rivals King Tut's with the riches and the color still there. Yes, that's from the Valley of the Kings right here.
So the Valley of Kings in the Middle Kingdom, that's where they started to bury their pharaohs. Yeah. Those pyramids were getting pillaged by outsiders and then getting attacked. So they started building these tombs inside this cavern in the walls, in the rock walls. So that's what we see right here.
Imagine they're a little bit easier to build too.
They're easier to build, and they go in order. It's like, here's the first one, here's the next one. You just walk literally down the wall, and there's another tomb and another tomb.
Yes, amazing.
They call it the Valley of the Kings.
We're going to do a field trip over there one day. We need to do that. All right, guys. Thank y'all for paying attention. Wrapping up Egypt. You guys are amazing. PGH out.
We out.
Good stuff, y'all.